Hello, good evening to everyone, and I'm so excited to be here this evening. It's always, exciting to come on here every evening and every week, pardon me, not every evening, once a week on Tuesday, every Tuesday, and to always have you join me, on this journey where I talk about real estate. And I do not take your time for granted. The time you leave everything, maybe you need to rest or attend to your family, but you decided to join me, on this journey and to, learn or hear me speak or hear me share my thoughts on some issues. I do not take your time for granted, and I really, really do appreciate everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So today, I want to share or, talk about something that I came across some couple of days ago. There's a report on the housing, state of housing in Lagos State, Nigeria. The state of housing in Lagos State, Nigeria, and that formed the foundation of our discussion today. Okay, that's the foundation. That forms the foundation of our discussion today. Pay it big or play it bigger in real estate. Pay it big or pay it bigger in real estate. So as I was saying, I read a report on the huge housing deficits in Lagos State, and that got me thinking. And that is the foundation of our discussion today. Pay it big or play it bigger in real estate. Pay, P-A-Y, pay it big or play, P-L-A-Y, bigger in real estate. What the huge or the massive housing deficit in Lagos should mean to you and I is a topic that we need to look into and to see how these massive housing deficit affects you and I, how we can play around it, how we can leverage on it. So that is what we'll be talking about this evening. So let me just, share with us what I read from that research. This research was conducted by a group called Pison. I hope I got this pronunciation right. P-I-S-O-N. Pison or Pison or Pison. Anyway, P-I-S-O-N. Don't let me murder the name. P-I-S-O-N housing group. So it could be Pison or Pison, P-I-S-O-N housing group. Had a research done about Lagos State housing deficit in 2016. That's about 7 years ago, yes. So this report states that the residential stock, housing stock. So what I mean by residential housing stock is a formal, proper house now, be it semi-detached, detached house, flat, a formal housing, not shanties now. That Lagos State, as of 2016, has about 1.5 million thereabout of formal housing, that is proper housing units. Lagos State has about 1.5 million as of 2016. So, I'm sure some of you are wondering, how come 1.5 million with this population? That is the reality we find ourselves. We look at the large population and we just kind of assume that this large population lives in a formal housing unit. No, only about 1.5 million residential housing units, formal, proper housing units, available as of 2016 in Lagos State. And And at that 2016, the population was about 17 million thereabout, based on research. We have all the research in the public domain anyway, about 18 million 2016. So we can just project, the population now. Some will say it's about 23 million, some will say 25 million, some will say 20 million. Of course, the population most likely will be between the range of 20 and 25 million, considering the influx of people into Lagos every day. It's massive. So it would be safe for us to say that the current population of Lagos State here in Nigeria should range between 20 and 25 million. So if you cast our mind back to that research done in 2016 that says there was about 1.5 million housing unit, formal housing unit, be it mini flat, 2-bedroom flat, apartment, detached houses or duplexes, all put together about 1.5 million. That goes to show the extent of this housing unit in Lagos State, Nigeria. So let's do the simple math, okay? Before we do the mathematics, this same research says that the household population is about 4.9, let me say 5 persons per household in Lagos. An estimate, based on the research as at 2016, that the household population is about 5 people per household, 5 people per family. So if you look at that, I want to do a simple mathematics, right? If we put the population of Lagos State at, let me say, a conservative figure of 20 million, and we conservatively put the available formal housing unit at, let me say, 2 million, and we say that the population per household, a single household in Lagos, is 5. So for 20 million population, we're going to be having like 2.5. Am I right? Yes. That means we'll be having about like how many? Yeah, no, about 4 million. Yes. That means for a population of 20 million, with a population of 5 persons per household or per family, there is need for about 4 million housing units to meet the demand. There's need for about 4 million housing units to meet demand for formal housing units, not shanties now. And remember I said the report in 2066 says that the formal residential housing unit available in Lagos as at 2016 was about 1.5 million. So if we're going to look at it, let's say there has been an improvement over the years, and we can put the available formal residential housing unit at 2 million. So if you look at that simple math, it goes to say that there is a huge deficit of more than 2 million in Lagos State. A deficit of well over 2 million housing units. Well over 2 million housing units in Lagos State. That is huge. So if we have just about 2 million formal housing units available to about 20 million people in Lagos State, that means that the majority of people are living in shanties. Majority of people are living in informal, so to say, housing units, which was not even taken into consideration when this research was compiled way back in 2016. And that should be of great concern to you and I. And we should all ask ourselves, what does this mean to me? Or what does this mean, this report means to us or to you and I? We know that there is no way Even the so-called 1.5 million housing unit that was available back then in 2016 wasn't the sole, wasn't solely provided by the government. There's no government that can adequately cater for the housing demand of the population. There is no government. I'm not sure of any in the world. Talk less of Nigeria with our peculiar situation. They narrowing it down to Lagos State. Lagos State, no government can come into power in Lagos State and that can meet the housing demand in Lagos State. That deficit will always be there. Not even with the rate at which people are trooping into Lagos. There's a huge influx of people into Lagos State because many who believe that you can pick, Naira money in Lagos. Yes, there's a lot of money in Lagos, really, but it doesn't work like that. So we have a lot of people flowing to Lagos practically every day. And that explains why there will always be massive housing deficits in Lagos State. So what does that mean to you and I? It means that there will always be a huge demand due to acute shortage of housing in Lagos State. There will always be a huge demand. Whether demand for, especially for housing units that meet the needs of the average people, the middle class, the low income, the low middle income cadre, the high middle income cadre, and the high cadre. Especially the middle income cadre. The population is massive. Maybe I will talk about that next week. The next show I'm going to have. There is huge deficit. And because of that, there is a huge demand, putting pressure on the housing demand. The acute shortage is putting pressure on demand for housing in Lagos State, Nigeria. That is why we should look at how holistically, critically, intentionally look at how these figures affect you and I, what it means to us. The first thing is this: because of this acute shortage leading to high demand for housing, there's bound to be an upward review of rent from time to time. Supply versus demand, or demand versus supply. Demand is high, supply is low. So definitely the force of demand and supply will play out when it comes to pricing or rates of rent. And it's a known fact, it's also in the public domain, that in the past 5 years, rental rate has more than doubled. Check it out. Look at your neighborhood. Look at the neighborhood. The 2-bedroom flat that was rented out probably at 400,000 in your neighborhood 5 years ago, that's about 2017, most likely will be like maybe 1 million thereabout now. So you can see that the rental rate has doubled over time, and it will keep increasing because there's so much demand and the supply is very low. So that's why I say that is either you pay it big. When I say pay, if you're a tenant, expect that your rent will not be static. The rent will keep going high, would experience upward review because there's so much demand. Before you even say that you want to move, there are a lot of people queuing out to take over your apartments. Not even with the rising inflation. Not even with the rising inflation. I said last week that the inflation, as at April, was 17.something%. So all this will play out on the rental rate, which will keep going, going up as the year goes by, except there's a miracle, except there's something done, except there is something done to meet up the demand. But as long as there's so much, influx of people to Lagos State, and supply is not meeting up with that demand, rent will experience upward review, plus the help of inflation. So you can imagine what will be the next 5 years. And you want to play it big. How does this, what does this figure or this research mean to you? It means with this massive deficit also comes an opportunity for real estate financiers and investors to invest. So it's like a two-edged sword. To some people, they will keep paying higher rent given. Abi? As long as you are still, trying to see how you're going to acquire property for yourself, as long as you live in a rented apartment, be prepared that your rent would enjoy or would experience upward increment. And as long as there's a massive deficit, there will always be an opportunity for financiers, for investors to also play it bigger in real estate. Because government cannot meet the demand, therefore government is relying on you and I. We're the investors, right? We are the investors. They won't come from heaven. It's you and I, right? You agree with me? So government is looking up to investors to come into the real estate space, to create or to come into the real estate space to provide housing, to make available housing units to the teeming populace. So this is what it means. This report means to you and I. For some, it means they must expect an upward review of their rent from time to time. And to some people like you and I, is an opportunity for us to come out and play it big by being an investor in the real estate space, creating, providing, investing in affordable housing units. Affordable housing units. Affordable residential houses. And you just, you need to go to the public domain and carry out research on the level or the percentage of the population in Lagos State that falls within the cadre of low income or middle income cadre. And that is where we have the population. This population don't want semi-detached. They're not looking to rent duplexes, 5-bedroom mansion. They're looking to rent 2 or 3 bedroom flats. That is where the money is. That is where government needs you and I to play it big, to solve these housing deficit, to reduce it as much as possible. Maybe, perhaps, if there is more of housing supply, maybe the rents can come down. I don't know, but Nigeria, I'm not sure prices do come down like that. I'm not sure, even during COVID. I'm not sure rent, landlords were that's merciful. Merciful. So I'm not too sure. But maybe by stroke of miracle, maybe the rent can come down. And there's so many opportunities. See, when it comes to rental income, it's like a guaranteed source of income. Remember, I always say, income follows asset. Having a rental asset, a rental property as an asset, guarantees a flow of income to you. even as you are meeting a particular need in the society or your community or in our state. Because shelter is one of the basic needs of man. And where there is a demand for it, there is bound to be a flow of income. People will always want to pay for shelter. People don't want to live in shelters forever. People want to, want to have a better life, want to live in a conducive environment. So if you come into that space to meet that needs, they will pay you for their service. So there are so many opportunities here in Lagos State. And I'm sharing this especially for our dear friends and family outside of Nigeria. No matter what, there is need, there is opportunity. Forget about insecurity and all that. There will always be need to rent houses. And that is where the money lies. When you solve a problem for someone, they will be willing to pay you. So money follows solution. And in the case of this massive deficit in housing units in Lagos State, the solution is to provide housing. The money will follow you. And people say, oh, where is land in Lagos? There's no more land in Lagos. Says who? There are a lot of land, massive land, expanse of land available in Lagos State. For those who want to play it big in that space, who want to position themselves as solution provider, who want to play it big in the area of shelter, housing, providing affordable housing units, who want to partner with the government in mitigating this huge deficit in our housing, sector in Lagos State. So on the mainland, there are a lot of opportunities for you. At the same time, on the island, I know that we say, opportunities abound at the outskirts. Yes, but there are bigger opportunities that will fetch you a good sum of money in developed cities, developed areas of the city of Lagos. For example, now, there is an opportunity around Lasu Iba area. This is Lagos mainland. We have an estate we call Amani Island, very close to Lagos University, Lasu, that is Ojo Iba area, close to Alaba International Market, close to that access. Someone is asking, what will I do with a land in close to Ojo or Lasu? See, this massive housing unit also includes hostels for students. There is no university that can adequately provide, housing, hostels for all the students. So they're also relying on you and I to come and invest and provide housing in form of hostels for the teeming population. We have student population in Nigeria, in Lagos State. Everybody wants to go to school. You need to see how landlords are catching up big time in that axis. So you can decide to acquire a plot of land, especially now that we're even doing it cheap, at a very low entry level in Amani Island, Iba area of Lagos State. You can decide to acquire maybe a plot 2 or 3 to provide housing, hostels for the student. You can acquire in other areas of, even Mangodo Central is also there. We call it the Banana Island of the mainland. You know what land is going for Magodo Shangisha? This Magodo Central is just by Magodo Shangisha. And the entry level is superb. You want to play it big. You begin to look at these areas, the city center, where lands are available for you to invest and provide housing. It could be 2-bedroom, mini flat, 3-bedroom flat, studio apartment, or even hostels. If you move to the main island as well, opportunity abounds. There are flats available with it as low as 17 million as entry level. There are lands available at 12 million. You can acquire this land and say, oh, for me, I want to contribute my quota. I want to play it big in the housing sector in Lagos State. And you can, on a plot of land, can put up a block of 6 flats, a block of 4 flats, 2 units of semi-detached, 3 units of terrace housing. You can do all sorts just to contribute your quota. These are the opportunities available to you and I in the real estate. So it's not all gloom and doom when it comes to housing unit. There are opportunities in every adversary, or there is an advantage. Or in every adverse situation, there is an advantage for those that would choose to see the advantage and to leverage on these opportunities. So it's not, yes, it's good that you'd, strive to have your own residence where you live. Yeah, people say sack your landlord, build your own house, live in your own house. It's good, but it doesn't end there. Living your own house without an income from, another property is like liability, because you keep spending on that house. Yeah, when you build your own house for personal residence, it's just the beginning of the journey in real estate, really. It's just the beginning. The real game changer is when you begin to play it big in the rental space, rental properties. You begin to play it big, meeting the needs of others. Being a solution provider. That is when you have just started. That is when you begin to enjoy the dividends of real estate investing. So, you want to play it big? That's where I'm here. That is where I come out every week to share the good news with you. Opportunities are available. Send me a DM, call me, chat me up, ask me questions on how you can play it big. I saw something on the social media space today that, confirms to me my, how will I put it now? My intuition, or that collaborate with what I've been sharing on my social media handles of recent. Sujimoto, we all know Sujimoto. Sujimoto is a luxury real estate developer on the island, basically Ikoyi and Banana Island. And he posted something. He said, I'm paraphrasing now, that, savings is 0. Sujimoto apartment 100. I need to say, why are you putting your money in the bank? Why are you keeping that money in the savings in your savings account, where inflation will eat it up? Why are you not investing in his property? I'm just paraphrasing the flyer he put out today. That's someone that have the understanding of playing it big. Now, not everybody will play it big in the luxury apartment, in the luxury real estate luxurious apartment. Okay, not everybody. You don't have to come in and start with terrace buildings or with high-rise structures or with block of flat. You can decide to create a niche for yourself and say, oh, I am coming to the real estate space. I'm going to start with maybe bungalows, or I'm going to just focus on 2-bedroom apartment, and you have them all over Lagos. There are people that are earning millions of naira yearly, hundreds of millions of naira yearly from rental properties. And you don't have to manage it yourself. There are companies whose focus is property management. You can't, give it to them to manage for you. So why would you keep that on millions of naira in the bank when you can play it big in real estate by investing and building, housing units, and become a solution provider to the housing problem in Lagos State. Remember, you can either play it big, you can either pay it big or play it bigger. The choice is yours. Okay? Whatever your choice is, I'm here. You want to pay it big? I will get you houses, apartment to rent. You want to play it big? I will get you land and houses you can invest in. But the bottom line is, this research or this reality affects every one of us. The way it will affect you is what you and only you can decide. Whether to pay it big or to play it bigger. Remember the maths. Remember the research that the housing unit is there's a huge deficit. Acute shortage, putting pressure on demand, causing prices to go up when it comes to rental rates, and at the same time presenting opportunity to real estate investors and financiers to play it big. So the choice is yours today. So till I come your way next week again, still talking about housing, deficits in Lagos State, Nigeria. Do have yourself a wonderful evening. Thank you for watching. Please share this video with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to my business page, Astrid Global Properties on Facebook. God bless you, and see you next week. Bye.